Good morning, my loves.
Good morning.
I'm here with the ever wonderful and fearless co-leader, Eva Lani, and we are out enjoying some of the sunshine and the blue skies of Roma, because while Remo and I made it on the run, Eva didn't. So we're getting a little fresh air out on our balcony this morning, yeah?
Yes.
So this week we've been talking about the evolution of leadership and authentic leadership. And usually when I get to this point in leadership training, we're training like heads of government, heads of organizations, and heads of families, and even individual leaders, they'll start saying things to me like, but I can't fall apart in front of my team, whoever that team is, because they will lose trust in me. Okay, so a really good example of this is with little kids. So parents with little kids are like, I can't fall apart in front of my little kids because then they won't feel safe in this environment. So safety is the number one concern of people at that stage in their leadership development. So it's really cool to think about leadership as a path or a journey and see the different stages on that path, yeah?
Yes. It's like the parenting by the sevens that you used to tell us about, where there's the first 7 years you need to like beat it into the kids that they can trust you and everything's going to turn out all right and you have all the magical answers. Then the second 7 years you need to like start pulling away that wizard's curtain and be like, I'm human. I don't have all the magical answers and I can't solve everything for you. And then the third 7 years you need to like start pushing them to do it on their own.
Yeah. So this is it's really easy to see this in kids and in raising kids, and it's analogous to all levels of leadership. So the first 7 years, like if we're thinking about the matrix, the first 7 years is, here is the spoon, there is a spoon, see the spoon. And that's basically like, see that there is leadership, okay? And the most important part in this phase for the team members is security. They want to know that this is safe, that the system is secure, that they are safe in this place. So it's our job as leaders to act like we have all the magical answers and to just build safety and security in the system. This can be with onboarding team members too, and it can just be out there in society as well. Okay, so that's kind of the first thing. So there are people on their leadership path that are yearning for that safety and security. Okay, so the second stage is when we start pulling back that wizard's curtain, when we start saying bend the spoon in the matrix, and we say, I don't have all of the magical answers here, right? So there's a really funny super news about Barack Obama when he is winning the Nobel Peace Prize, and they're giving him grief because he put more troops into Afghanistan. And he's like, look, I am not the Messiah. I do not have a magical wand that I can wave that says demons be gone. And I think that it's a really, really cool representation of this part of the leadership journey, which is, we don't have the magical answers as leaders. We know that we don't have magical answers. And it's important to start teaching our team members that we don't have magical answers, because it encourages and grows their growth as leadership. It helps them to take their own self-responsibility for whatever is going on in the world, right? So then the third stage in leadership is that place where we really, really push our team members to go out there and do it on their own, so that they can start learning to trust themselves and accept that there's no such thing as the perfectionism in the idea of like, we're going to make a plan and the plan's going to turn out exactly the way that we thought it was.
And have self-authority.
Yes, exactly. Oh, Eva knows all about this because she did those burpees. Remember her growing her leadership muscle? So this is the time when we're going out and we're saying, now it's your job to go be the leader. Now it's your job to go out and lead your own life and make the mistakes and learn from them and dance in that moment, okay? So it's fascinating when we start applying this to big systems and we start looking at people like maybe politicians that are out there speaking to big, huge collectives, groups of people, and those people are at all different stages of their leadership journey. and that they respond differently to the different things that the leaders kind of in front of collectives are doing. So sometimes I'll even get responses like people being like, you need to fall apart more. You need to be less perfect, Carmen, because you're not being authentic. Well, those people are at the third stage of that leadership journey, and they won't trust me if I'm not being, yeah, exactly. If I'm showing perfectionism all the time, they lose trust in the system, which is fascinating because that first stage of leadership, if I show anything except for kind of that perfectionism, they lose trust. Yeah. So it's this interesting paradox that leaders have to dance in and have to start really feeling what is it that the system needs from me in that moment. And it's hard when we're talking with big, huge groups and collectives of people. So one of the things that's really helpful here is to realize that leadership in any area of our life can be translated to other areas of our life. So some people are really far along in like their family leadership, and they're less far along in, let's say, like governmental or political leadership, okay? Or it can be vice versa. And so when we start seeing that and seeing the commonalities, it really creates this common base of almost trust amongst everybody in the system, and it helps us to draw and resource our strengths from over here. Remember how we talked about resourcing energy? It helps us draw our strengths and resources from this area and apply it to this other area of our life as we're going through that development stage. And then there are some fascinating stages beyond stage 3, but we'll leave that for later.
Yes.
All right. Have a lovely day. We'll see you next
Bye.
time. Bye-bye.